Hi guys, it's Mike the Vapor here again. Got another little liquid review for you today. I took a trip to Herbal Tides earlier this week. It's quite a long way out of my way, but worth it. I popped in. I'd been speaking to Dan very briefly over Twitter. Saw some of the liquids that he was doing, some of the labels and stuff like that, and was quite intrigued to see what was available. Was very tempted to order off the internet, but thought to myself, do you know what, I really want to try some of these. Plus, it'd be nice to meet him. So, took the trip to Derby and popped into the shop and was chatting away for a little while to Dan before I think he even knew who I was. And I was first thing I was shocked about was how chatty and how nice and everything he was, and how welcoming into the shop, should we say. Anyway, sort of introduced myself, got chatting and everything along those lines, and tried out a few of the juices. But as you know, you can't always get an actual feel for them when you try them in the testers. So thought to myself, do you know what, I'm going to buy some of these. I'm going to buy a few, give them a little review, this, that, and the other, and see how we get on. Now, before I move on to liquids, I just want to say that I was very, very shocked at the level of stock and the way that the store is set out. I was amazed that there's a dripper area. You can just sit down and drip, and I know this is kind of a thing that happens in some places. However, I was amazed that there was 5 pawns, there was Mrs. Lord's, there was snake oil, there was even some liquids I'd never even heard of. Real high quality liquids that you could just sit down and drip on, which was amazing, because you normally would expect it to be very basic liquids or very small amounts, but there was a big table full of all these different liquids that I could drip on. So I ran off to the car, got my my dripper, and had a little sample of some of them. Now I also took a friend with me who has only ever been to one vape shop previously and thought that that was the extent of what was available, and he was properly baffled by what was available, what was on stock, the different types of liquid, the absolute passion for vaping that Dan had in there, and we were just chatting away for ages, and it was great. And little things like the rebuilding station to show you how to wick your atties if you buy them, and all that kind of stuff. And apparently, this is what I gathered. If you buy a full setup from them, you get rebuildable supplies for life. So you've got your wick and your wire, and all that kind of stuff to just go back in and get one rebuilt. It was crazy. So anyway, I thought to myself, you know, I'm going to buy some liquids. Dan turned around and said to me, listen, no, don't buy them. Let me give you 5 to try. So I got to pick 5 different liquids, and then I bought myself one other as well, because it was great. I really wanted to carry it on with my dripper. So the first one that I'm going to review today is Rainbow Blast. I don't, bear with me one sec. Here it is. I wanted to grab the bottle for you. So, Rainbow Blast. Great little label on it. Now, I'm normally a 6 to 9 kind of guy, but I could only get this in 12 because I turned up unexpected, so I couldn't get any made up specifically for me. So it's a little bit stronger than what I'm used to. However, that's the beauty of the DNA 30, so I can turn it down a little bit. So I was round at my girlfriend's house the other week, and I said to her, I was like, pick a liquid, I don't know which one to try first. So she picked Rainbow Blast. So fresh build, fresh coil, fresh wick, everything along those lines. I actually used some of the Japanese cotton that's out there, which once again was kindly given to me while I was in the shop, because he had a little sample of it. So I took it home, wicked it up, and I'm very happy that this was the first liquid that got to be picked, because I'm a fruit lover. I like citrus fruits, I like sort of tangy, sweet kind of fruits, and this stuff is perfect for that kind of vape. It really did surprise me how nice it actually was, and it's a very complex sort of flavour as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quick vape on it so I can show you what it's like, and then I'm going to talk about the flavour. So. Now, the first thing I thought when I bought first thing I thought when I vaped this was Unicorn Blood by Fusion. Now, that's one of my favourite flavours. However, it gunks up your coils, it craps up your wick straight away, and literally within 24 hours it's unvapable. You have to wick again, and it's a pain in the backside because I tend to do a lot of my building at night, go to bed, wake up in the morning, take my build off to work with me. But by that point, it's been maybe 9 or 10 hours, so it's started to gunk up a little bit, and it just doesn't taste right. And then you start getting all the crap through and everything like that. So it's brilliant on a dripper, but it's not great in a tank. Whereas this stuff is giving me all of the flavour that I got with Unicorn Blood, but this build has been going now for 3 days. I've not touched it. It's a parallel coil, at 0.7 on my Hannah at 25 watts. Now it's a little bit higher than I'd like it to be in the nicotine, so I've turned it down to 25. And the only reason I've gone for 25 is because of the build. Any lower than that, and it's not right. It's just the way the Hannah works. It's more of like a mech sort of setup, but that's a different story. But anyway, yeah, Rainbow Blast. It was supposed to be, from what I could gather, a rainbow sherbet, but I've been getting some real good strawberry out of it. I think lemon. I think there's maybe a bit of an orange or something like that, but there's definitely something zesty within it. But it's like a fizzy type of flavour. It's really, really sweet and a little bit sour at the same time. It's really good. I can't say I've ever actually tried much rainbow sherbet, but this is good. It's really, really good. I mean, have another go. It does remind me a lot of Skittles, which is what Unicorn Blood's supposed to be like. This has a little bit, I think maybe lime in there, which is giving it the real citrusy, zesty flavour. But I think I may well have found my all-day vape. If I can get this in a 6 or even a 9, depending on what they do, I'm going to buy bucket loads of this stuff because it's great. It's the first of the 5. I haven't tried any of the others yet because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a full bottle of them and then move on to the next ones. But have a little look at some of the flavours that are out there. This is really, really good. I'm not gonna go into them on this video because I'm pressed for time, but highly recommend these. They're very, very high quality, and I was properly gobsmacked by the passion for vaping and the thoughtfulness that's gone into the whole Herbal Tides kind of ethos. I'm again not going to go into it in this video, but we talked about lots of different stuff and all these different things that Dan's doing, and the guy loves vaping. The guy really does love vaping, and he was so friendly and so nice and really welcoming and everything into the shop. I've been into a few shops in the past where you kind of get looked at as if you don't know what you're talking about until you start to let people know that you are quite into the hobby, should we say. But no, I didn't get that at all with Dan. As soon as I walked in, first thing he said to me was, "Oh my God, I've just made this build on my dripper and it's crazy and this, that and the other." There was no expecting me to not know what I was talking about. He was just a nice bloke from day one. And yeah, highly recommend them. So if you're in the area, I urge you go in and see them because you'll love the store. Honestly, some of the stuff that's in there, I could have spent hundreds. If it wasn't my girlfriend's birthday this month, I would have been skimmed by now. Because I would have just bought loads of stuff in there. So get yourself in there if you can. It's definitely worth the trip, even if it's going to take you a little bit of a drive. Plan to get there and set aside a good hour because I was in there for 45 minutes and I only planned to pop in. So yeah, herbaltides.co.uk. I'll put the link in the description and I'll put the Twitter in there as well. So if you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask me, feel free to get me at Mike the Vapor on Twitter. It's the same as the YouTube channel. And yeah, it'd be good to have a chat. I respond to in fact, every tweet that I get. So yeah, give me a shout and we'll go from there. Cheers, guys.